continue with the third session with speakers Janet Bala with the title Water Quality Assessment of Imus River based on its psychochemical characteristics. Let me read the third presenter's CV. Ms. Janet Bala is an associate professor and a former curator of the Natural History Collections under Biological Sciences Department of De La Salle University Das Marinas. Her field of expertise includes aquatic ecology, systematics, and environmental science. Since the representative is here already, we may enjoy viewing the third YouTube presentation and PPT presentation.
Pleasant good afternoon to all. I'm here to represent Ms. Janet Bala. I'm one of her co-researchers together with Jonathan Rubio, Dr. Irene Mercurio, Dr. Janichi, and Ms. Geraldine. So our research entitled Water Quality Assessment in Imus River, Philippines. Next slide, please. Okay, so as a background, so Imus River is one of the 6 major rivers created in the province of Cavite. Cavite being in Luzon, in the Philippines, and these major rivers of Cavite flow in Bacoor, Manila Bay. So this is a glassy water which is suitable for fishery, recreation, agriculture, irrigation, and even livestock watering. Next slide. So, Imus River has a length of 38.4 kilometers with a point of origin in the north of Tagaytay City and drainage location in Bacoor City. So it passes through the municipality of Silang, city of Dasmariñas, Imus City, and the boundaries of Bacoor City and municipality of Tawi. Specifically, it runs from Barangay Sabutan, Barangay Tiga, and Silang, Barangay Sampalo, Barangay Palapala, Barangay Pasog Bayog, Barangay San Agustin, and Barangay Salitran in the city of Dasmariñas, and connects to Barangay Anabu, 2 and 1, Barangay Tansanbuma, Barangay Tabico, Barangay Tocron, in Imus City down to the boundaries of Barangay Salinas, Barangay Mapolo, Barangay Sinigulasan of Bacoor City, and Barangay Binakayan, Barangay Pulponista, in Tawi. So these tributaries, which started from Bukal, going to the San Agustin joint and connects Imus River in Pasig-Bayog, and the tributaries are also found in Balagtot that also grades in Imus River based on year 2017. Due to rapid urbanization and human settlement in Region 4A, also known as Calabar Zone, in which Cavite is included, the CA, it has caused intensive changes and pollution in the major rivers of the province, and Imus River, as one of those, is one of the Philippines pollution hotspots. So our objective for this study, of course, is to compare the physicochemical characteristics of water in Imus River during dry and wet season, and of course to assess the water quality of Imus River based on its physicochemical characteristics. Significant, so basically, this study is important to determine the current status of the water in Imus River, and this data, or the data that can be can be used by policymakers to propose environmental policies that will eventually protect humans and the environment. Now, for the methods, actually, we set sampling sites along the river, encompassing from Barangay Silang, municipality of Silang, up to Bacoor. So there are almost 6 sites in which we get we get the sample of the water. In research, as you can see in the map, so this is the map of the province of Cavite showing cities and municipalities within the Imus River watershed, and this is based on the Department of Forestry and Environmental Science, prepared by CAPS 2 prior to our testing. Sampling stations were set in the midstream and downstream of the main tributaries of the Imus River, located in the 5 municipalities along the river. So, as I mentioned, the municipality of Silang, it includes the Biga and Sabutan. Okay, for the municipality of, for the city of Las Marinas, it includes Apalo 2 and Sarigran 1. For the city of Imus, Tansang Lima, Toklong, Tubi, and from the two municipalities of our city and municipalities of Kawit, we have Mabolo 3, Binakayan, and Sinigulasan, and Pulporista. Next slide, please. So the sampling stations representing the midstream Barangay Tuklong, Tubi, and Tansang Luma in the Imus City, and the downstream of the river, Barangay Pulporista, and Binakayan, and Kawit, are wide with slow flowing water, while the sampling station representing the upstream are actually have narrow with strong water current. So the following piece of chemical parameters of the water includes, of course, the surface temperature, pH, dissolved oxygen, salinity, phosphate, nitrates, and the TDS, or the total dissolved solids. So they are measured in situ and based on standard procedure using appropriate portable equipment. So the measurement of BOD, or biological oxygen demand, and the TSS were done in the laboratory. And something was done once during the dry season, which is covered from March to May, and from wet season from August to October of 2021. So the mean values for both the dry and wet seasons were compared to DNR standards. So DNR is our Agency for Environment and Natural Resources. So since the river is classified as Class C, so we were going to assess whether the river is still in Class C. Okay, so for data analysis, statistical analysis includes the one-way analysis of variance, or of course, to compare significant difference among the different physical-chemical characteristics of water for both in dry and wet season. And as I mentioned, physical-chemical characteristics were compared to DNR standard. Okay. So major findings. Next slide, please. The water quality based on physical-chemical characteristics. Okay, so as you can see on the table, so there is the different letter indicates significant difference. So as you can see on the table, there is a significant difference between dry and wet. So from 28.63, it's now become 28.24. For the pH 7.14, so there is a significant difference between the surface temperature, significant difference between the biological oxygen demand of the dry and wet, significant difference between the phosphates, the nitrates, and even the TSS, or the total suspended solid. And by comparing it to the standard values of the DNR based on the DA or 2016-COE, so there is actually a very significant decrease in the nitrates, which is supposed to be 7, but it has become 1.65 to 3.12. So even during the wet, so there's a very low nitrate for a Class C river. Okay, and for a total suspended solid, you can see the dramatic, probably because of siltation, erosion. So primarily, it has now become 241 to 362. So there is a tremendous increase on the amount of the total suspended solid. So next slide, please. So major findings include, so the surface water temperature is significantly lower during wet months as compared to dry months due to rainfall, and the pH, DO, salinity, and TDS registered equal values during dry and wet months, while BOD, phosphate, nitrates, TSS were significantly higher during wet months. So with comparison with the NE standard, so all measured physical parameters were within the standard values, except mentioned for the phosphate and TSS, in which the values exceeded the critical limits. So this condition in the waters of Primus River may be attributed to the volume of waste generated brought about by the surrounding residential, agricultural, industrial, and even commercial areas. So heavy nutrient load of nitrates and phosphate in the body of water favor the growth of aquatic plants and create negative effect on water quality by accelerating the growth of algal clumps, even bad odor, and even discoloration. So such conditions create problems in its use for recreational and aesthetic purpose. High levels of phosphorus leads to eutrophication. So as mentioned by Steve in 2006. So future direction based on the findings, so this report gives the following recommendations. One is to intensify the implementation of different laws and policies regarding solid waste management and conservation and protection of freshwater resources. So we have so many laws in the Philippines, Republic Act 9003, or what we call the Solid Waste Management Act of 2000, the RA 9275, Clean Water Act of 2004. These need to be implemented by the national government down to the local government units. Okay, so recommendations includes state government agencies must involve all stakeholders through information and education campaign regarding solid waste management. Even households must be knowledgeable on different classification of waste and be aware of its negative impacts and should practice proper waste segregation and minimization. So even the DNR must conduct regular monitoring of physical chemical characteristics of water to manage water quality based on its classification. Likewise, the department or the DNR should require wastewater management treatment facilities among industries and even households to have sewerage system. So in socioeconomic, there should be a socioeconomic valuation of Primus River to promote awareness among people for its conservation and protection. So, okay. So in the end, let me give you this quote by Stephen C. R. Covey, which states that be a part of the solution and not of the problem. So thank you very much for listening. So, gandang hapon po.
Okay, thank you for the fruitful presentation. Let's now open the Q&A session. May I remind you that the Q&A will last for around 10 minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen and fellow audiences, do you have any questions? You can type it in the chat box, or you can directly ask to the presenters. Is there any questions?
Yes, please. May I ask question? May I ask question?
Is there any questions for the presenters?
Yes. May I ask question? I want to ask to Miss Mercurio from Philippines. Yeah, yeah. Hello. I'm very interested with your presentation about piscometer in waterway. My question is, Is there any heavy metal in food in a wastewater like that? Did you find heavy metal in wastewater, in bay water like that? No sound. I can't hear anything.
Okay, good afternoon, ma'am. Hello from the
Yes.
Philippines. Actually, there are a lot of studies that have been conducted in Manila Bay when it comes to the heavy metals. However, because these heavy metals may be coming from different contributors such as industrial, commercial, even residential, but but as you could see, ma'am, in our presentation, we did not cover that in our research study. But because of the different, although there are a lot that has been conducted in the Philippines, particularly in Manila Bay, that's why the heavy metals have also been studied by other researchers. And considering that in our study, we also included, for example, the total suspended solids. So this might have been the contributor also, in addition to other sources of suspended particles that we may have observed when it comes to the physical chem. But again, as I have said, we did not really focus directly on these heavy metals, but probably, or I guess because of the other studies that have been done, well, we could really say that there are heavy metals that may have been released or been released in the Manila Bay. So that's why we also included that in our recommendations as other parameters which may be added to our research. Thank you.
Okay. Does that answer your question? I believe it is quite clear. Okay.
Thank
Is
you,
there any
ma'am.
further questions from the audience? If there is no more questions from the audience, I would like to invite the reactors to give comments and questions to the presenters.
Thank you. Good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon.
Again, congratulations to all the presenters, the researchers. Continue to be champions of the environment, specifically in increasing the awareness about plastic litter in different bodies of water. For the first presenter, I would like to ask Miss Geraldine Zamora. Is she there?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much alive.
Based from your findings, what are your assessment with regards to the conditions of Manila Bay in terms of plastic litter? Is it highly polluted? And what must be done?
Okay, so once again, good afternoon to all the participants in this first SIC. So regarding the question of our reactor, so based on the result of the study, it has been estimated, it was presented earlier, that the estimated total count of plastic per year is about 9.5 billion plastics. And this is equivalent to a total estimated cover of 6,800 square kilometers. So from this figure, we can say that the Manila Bay is polluted because if we put these plastic litters side by side, creating a jigsaw puzzle, we will see that this figure of 6,800 square kilometers will be equivalent to 3 layers of Manila Bay, because the area of the Manila Bay stretch is 1,994 square kilometers. So that we can say that it is highly polluted. And therefore, to explain it further, it would mean that the discover of plastic litter will be equivalent to 16 million basketball courts or 1 million football fields. So that's how polluted the Manila Bay is with regards to plastics as a source. And from the data, it was found out that out of this 9.5 billion plastics, 2/3 of it is coming from single-use plastics. That's about 8.3 billion. So what should be done? So there is already a law. It has been existing for the past 20 years. But as per the DENR solid waste management section, until now, the country, particularly the government, has not yet perfected the execution and the implementation of the said law, the RA 9003 or the Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. So therefore, it is recommended to intensify the implementation of the law, including RA 9003. And also, having found that 2/3 of the plastic litter are from single-use plastics, so we also recommend to institute a comprehensive national policy that will ban the use of SUP, modeled after countries such as Kenya, Taiwan, and Australia. So the ban should prohibit the production, use, and distribution of the single-use plastic in the entire country, including biodegradables, compostable bags. So for this purpose, a multi-sectoral consultation must be done to look for other reusable alternatives. So I think those are the most significant actions to be done to address plastic pollution along Manila Bay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And for the second presenter, we understand that there are several communities living near Manila Bay. So how can the community help in maintaining or making the water quality within the standard level?
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So with regards to your question, sir, as I have mentioned in my presentation, that there are different sectors which are involved, or the community is composed of different sectors such as agricultural, industrial, commercial, and residential. And one of the major factors that could affect the water quality are the waste that are being released or being thrown in this Manila Bay. Thereby, if we're talking of the waste, then all these different sectors should practice those activities concerning solid waste management. Because when we had our research, we observed that, in fact, that most of those in residential areas particularly tend to release the sewage directly to this water because they don't have, for example, the comfort rooms or any treatment facilities. So with regards, especially among those informal sectors that are surrounding the Manila Bay, as well as those other activities such as the industrial, commercial, so they should have these facilities that would enable them to filter or not to release their waste directly to Manila Bay. Also, when it comes to the programs being implemented by each local government units for different municipalities, such as the coastal cleanup activities, for example, or having these material recovery facilities. So they should practice, and they should be aware, and they should follow and participate, of course, with the different programs as part of the mandamus of the Manila Bay. Then when it comes to the different laws, such as the Clean Water Act, which we have in our country, in the Philippines, as well as with other countries, and also the laws concerning or plans for the operational strategy of Manila Bay, well, these communities should follow, so that all these different sectors, there is a need for the participation of different stakeholders, so that each one of them would help in maintaining the water quality of Manila Bay, so that it could still fit or could still be used for its purpose, which includes for fishery sources or for recreational and tourist purposes. So that's also for the participation of the maintaining the water quality.
Okay, thank you also. And for the last presenter, also about the water quality in Imus River. What do you think are the main negative effects if the water quality if the values of the water quality exceeded the standard levels?
Thank you for that wonderful. That's what is good about ecology. So since our study is about physicochemical characteristics, so that will give the significance to it. So when there is a maximum or a effect or a sudden increase or even a slight increase in those factors, definitely it will have an effect on the biotic community that is present on that habitat. So in this case, the Amos River. And when there's a change in the population of that biotic community, in the structure of that, it will have an effect on those other communities that are depending on that, and even on the people living on that area, will actually cause an effect even on their living and on their economy. So basically, it is a cascading effect, or what we call like a domino effect. So if there's something wrong with the physicochemical characteristics of the river, there will be something wrong in the whole community, and even to the economic of those living in those, and which will affect even the country. In the make sense, it is connected to all of us, so it will have an effect on us in a longer effect.
Okay, thank you. And congratulations once again to all the presenters. Thank you for sharing your results with us.
Okay, thank you very much for fellow audiences, reactors, presenters. Is there any question from the audiences? Okay, I believe there is no more questions from the audiences. I will close the Q&A session in 3, 2, 1. Thank you once again for the presenters and the audiences. Let's give a big applause for them by giving reactions. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Let's move to the last parallel session for the day. Dear presenters and audiences, now is the time for our first session of researchers to present their research with speakers Dr. Randa Eli Kunchorowati, MSc as correspondent, Dr. Suci Andari, MSc, Dr. Randa Husmiati, MSOC, SC, PhD, Ahmad Purnama, SSOS, M. Awit, with the title The Assistance of People with Community-Based Mental Disorders in the Times of the COVID-19 Pandemic. Let me read the presenter's CV. Dr. Suci Andari, MSc, Bandung, 18 May 1965. Dr. Anda Husmiati, MSOC, SC, PhD, Makassar, 9th October 1967. Dr. Anda Eli Kunchorowati, MSc, Yogyakarta, 24 July 1957. Ahmad Purnama, SSOS, MSc, Klaten, 19 Juni 1968. Are the presenters all here?
Yes, I beg your pardon.
Okay.
You
Now
too,
that we
please.
are all ready, we may enjoy
Yes.
viewing the first YouTube presentation.
Okay. I'm sorry. This title is not like this. It's a different title. It's not my research. Didn't you have my video? Oh, I'm sorry. Hello, hello. It's not my research. Loh, kok ini ya? Yeah, please. Different title. It's different title.
Aku hari ini namanya yang boleh pulang. Udah. Tadi itu kan dari belakang itu. Tadi yang dapat infus orang bukan salah tapi iya, dokter.
Is there any problem with my video? I want to present by myself.
Okay, please wait for a few minutes.
How about I will present it by myself? Okay. If there any problem, it's better I will present it by myself. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, all the audience. My name is Eli Kunchorowati. I'm one of the researchers from this project. Beside me, there are also Suciandari, Husmiati Yusuf, and Ahmad Purnama. The title of this research is Community-Based Assistance for ODGJ, People with Mental Disorders During the COVID-19 Pandemic. This research will be discussed about five topic: introduction, and then the second theoretical framework, 3 methodology, 4 research and analysis, and 5 conclusion. For the introduction, first we describe there is many as 11.6% or around 90 million people experience mental disorders. This not only affect individuals but also families and countries. And 2, there are about 35 million people affected by depression. 60 million people are affected by bipolar. 21 million are ODGJs. Can you hear?
Yeah, we can hear.
Can you hear?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll continue. There are about 35 million people affected by depression. 60 million people are affected by bipolar. 21 million are ODGJs, and 47.5 million are affected by dementia. The Ministry of Social Affairs note that from 26 provinces in Indonesia, there were 4,786 people with mental disabilities or people with mental disorders. 3,441 people have been free from sickness, while 1,345 or 28.1% are still in sickness and are under treatment. Indonesia is the country with the highest number of people with mental disorders in Southeast Asia. The highest prevalence of several mental disorders in Indonesia is the province of the special region of Yogyakarta, which is 2.7%. Bantul is the area with the highest number of ODGJ, reaching 3,875 people. And number three, in 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic has spread all over the world. Mental health responses to massive outbreaks of infectious disease, including pandemic outbreak. ODGJ have high risk of being infected with COVID-19 and then transmitting it to people around them. The COVID-19 pandemic has made it increasingly difficult for assistants to ODGJs to meet their need. For research question, how to find out the effort of companion in exploring the potential to meet the basic needs of ODGJs during the COVID-19 pandemic. And number two, how to find out the obstacle faced by ODGJ in meeting basic needs during the COVID-19 pandemic. And number three, how to find out the community-based ODGJ mentoring model during the COVID-19 pandemic. And the benefit of the research will be used by the technical unit to take further policies related to the ODGJ's handling program can be used as a reference. For theoretical framework, A, about assistance for ODGJ, there are community, family government, and NGO are ODGJ's assistance is needed. Families who are care for people with mental disorders face a heavy burden both mentally, financially, and socially. B, community-based. ODGJ companion communities usually carry out activities by conducting home visits, activity therapy helping ODGJ families, mentoring ODGJs to access health services, improving skills and productive activities, educating families or educate ODGJ companion about mental health. C, ODGJ. ODGJ is people with mental disorders, also known as schizophrenia. People with mental disorders not only need economic assistance, but also need social assistance that includes emotional, informational, instrumental, and assessment ward assistance to undergo a recovery program and face stigma in society. The COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic has the 19 pandemic has resulted in the loss of livelihoods in the informal sector. The government has prepared various kinds of assistance for people affected by this pandemic, especially for ODGJs. For method, type of the research is this is an action research. Research subjects, 60 respondents consisting of ODGJ or observers, and second community leaders, and third ODGJ families. Research procedure, interviewing, observation, and questionnaire. Method, the location in Sleman and Bantul. And research and discussion, we can see there the gender of ODGJ's companion in between Sleman and Bantul. In Sleman, we can see that 57% is men, and in Bantul, 57% women. Companion age, we can see there over than 51 years old, 53% in Sleman, and in Bantul, 41 to 50 old, 47%. About marital status. Marital status in Sleman was 70% married and 80% in Bantul. Now about the ODGJ's companion education. In Bantul, 80% is senior high school, and in Sleman, 50%. About the reason to be companion, 50%, both in Sleman or Bantul, are about awareness of concerns. And about number of ODGs invited, maximum 3. Main job of ODGs companion. In Sleman, 37% worker, and in Bantul, 67%. About caregiver capacity in dealing with ODGs, in Sleman 77%, and in Bantul 50%. About education of ODGs parents, in Sleman 47% senior high school, and in Bantul 43% senior high school too. Parent, guardian, caregiver occupation, 53% trader in Sleman, and in Bantul 89% in Sleman trader, and in Bantul 53%. About history of ODGs treatment according to the parent, medical treatment 100% in Sleman and 50% in Bantul. About the gender of ODGs companion, men 43% in Sleman and 60% in Bantul. Women 57% in Sleman and 40% in Bantul. About age of ODGs accompanied. I think it's already gonna. About causes of being ODGs, 80% in Sleman because of depression or stress, and 70% in Bantul about stress, and 20% about congenital from birth in Bantul, and 17% in Sleman from congenital from birth. And effort to assist ODGs in Sleman and Bantul regency. 86% the basic needs of ODG, meeting the basic needs of ODG, 86% in Bantul and 80% in Sleman. About digging obstacles, 86.74% in Bantul, and in Sleman 79.65%. About overall effort, 86.57 in Bantul and 79 in Sleman. Supporting factors for ODGs assistance in Sleman and Bantul Regency. 1. Families strive to meet basic needs and can access treatment for ODGs. 2. The family creates an atmosphere that allows the potential community to accept the existence of ODGs. 3. The community strengthens potential in the form of funding, infrastructure, and facilities development, as well as social development and funding institutions. 4. Non-governmental organizations participate in protecting ODGs so that the weak don't become weaker. Conclusion. 1. Companion experience problem because ODGs are unable to carry out their daily activities, plus ODGs has difficulty communicating. 2. Limitation in the family economy have not supported basic needs and medical needs. 3. Family support is still lacking. 4. People with mental disorders mostly come from poor families. 5. Coordination and cooperation of all parties is needed in helping ODGs meet their basic needs and social needs. Thank you. I think that's all my presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Emily. Thank you, Ms. Emily, for your fruitful presentation. Dear presenters and audiences, let's now continue with the second session with speakers Dr. Eli Kristiani Purwenda S.M. Hum, Dr. Daniel Joko Wahyono M. Biomed, Elizabeth Pudiastiwi SHMH, with the title Sustainable Waste Management Towards Zero Waste Through Circular Economy Concept in Banyumas Regency. Let me read the second presenter's CV. Dr. Eli Kristiani Purwenda SHM Hum has been a permanent lecturer at the Faculty of Law, Wijaya Kusuma University, Purwokerto since 1994 until now. Dr. Daniel Joko Wahyono M. Biomed has been a permanent lecturer at the Faculty of Biology, Jenderal Sudirman Universitas Purwokerto since 1991 until now. Elizabeth Pudiastiwi SHMH has been a permanent lecturer at the Faculty of Law, Wijaya Kusuma University, Purwokerto since 1994 until now. Are all presenters present?
Yes, I'm present.
Okay. Now that we are all ready, we may enjoy viewing the second YouTube presentation.
Thank you.
That the environmental communities must be realized by all parties through the chosen policies. Waste management in Banyumas Regency is the administration of government affairs in the field on the environment and the fields of public works and spatial planning, sub-issues of waste. The implementation of sub-waste affair is a priority for waste management, which generates quite a large amount of waste, referring to the 1995 SNI standard regarding waste generation specification for small and medium cities in Indonesia, namely 2.75 until 3.25 liter per person per day for medium cities, while for small cities it's 2.50 until 2.75 liter per person per day. For Banyumas Regency, the generation of waste liters per person per day in 2021 will reach 474,185. The waste problem in Banyumas Regency requires policy choice from the government that are in favor of the concept of zero waste and green job. The study aims to see how the circular economy concept is applied in Banyumas Regency in sustainable waste management towards zero waste, what methods are used and how the process is implemented. Literature review, point A, sustainable development. In the provision of Indonesian environmental law, law number 32 of 2009 concerning environmental protection and management, in Article 2 state that the principle of environmental protection and management is the principle of sustainability and the principle of justice. In the explanation of Article 2, it is stated that what is meant by the principle of sustainability and sustainability are that everyone bears obligation and responsibilities to future generation and to each other in one generation by making effort to preserve the carrying capacity of the ecosystem and improve the quality of the environment. B. Waste management circular economy. The circular economy model is designed to replace the linear economic model, where products are designed to be made, used, and disposed of, the take, make, dispose principle. So that procedures will continue to take natural resources to produce new products. Assuming that natural resources are unlimited. In a circular economy, the value of the benefit of products can actually continue to be utilized in a cycle so that it can extend the life of the product. The Ellen MacArthur Foundation definition of a circular economy, Ministry of National Development Planning, or BAPENAS, is a framework that produces a systematic solution to tackle global challenges such as climate change, reduce biodiversity, waste, and pollution. This framework has principles that are geared towards designed to eliminate waste and pollution, protect products and materials of the highest value, and regenerate nature. The research methods type of research is an empirical normative legal research, applied law research, where the subject of the study is the implementation of positive law in every legal event that occurs in society in order to achieve the predetermined goals. Empirical normative legal research stems from written positive legal provision that are applied to legal events in concreto in society. In this study, the data source used were secondary data and primary data. Research subject, the subject in this study is the Banyumas Regency government in implementing a circular economy-based waste management policy in Banyumas Regency. Research procedure, this research was carried out through 3 stages, mainly preparation of legal research, implementation of legal research, presentation of legal research results. Waste management in Banyumas has the aim of preserving environmental function and public health and making waste as a resource. Waste management in Banyumas is the administration of government affairs in the field of environment and public works and spatial planning sub-issues of waste. The implementation of the waste affairs is a priority for waste management, which generates with a large amount of waste. Referring to SNI 1995 concerning specification for waste generation in small and medium cities in Indonesia, namely 2.75 until 3.25 liter per person per day for medium cities. For small cities, it's 2.50 until 2.75 liter per person per day. Potential generation waste in Banyumas district are as follows. In 2021, total population 1,080,754 and waste generation coefficient in 2.5. Waste generation per liter per person per day for 4,070,40,80,85. The source is Banyumas Region Regulation number 32 of 2022 concerning the work plan of Banyumas Regency government of 2023. According to data from the Banyumas Regency Bapedalitbang in 2022, the waste management program in terms of the percentage of waste reduced through 3R in percentage in 2021 has been achieved with an achievement level of the regional medium-term development. In alignment with the development priorities of Banyumas Regency, Central Jawa Province, and the national in 2023, the Environmental Quality Index in the percentage of achievement in 2021 reaches 108.73. However, in the strategy for reducing unemployment, Banyumas has not mentioned the circular economic basic of waste management as an indicator for strategies for reducing unemployment and increasing investment to open up job opportunities. Although in the implementation, green economy-based waste management embrace have been carried out through circular economy methods in existing hangar. The involvement of the workforce and the community in Banyumas in waste management in hangars, TPST and PDU is an application of the circular economic concept. The application of circular economy in waste management in Banyumas is in line with the concept of innovation of the peer paying or inovasi beruang, magic garbage turned into money. This beer-outs innovation was implemented in 2018 with the aim of comprehensively addressing the waste problem from upstream to downstream. Garbage is handled starting from the waste production side, namely the household. The implementation of the bar-out innovation has become the effectiveness of public institution is in terms of Banyumas managing waste and has real results. Through this innovation, Banyumas is saved from the attacks of 143 garbage trucks every day. The bear waste innovation is carried out through 3 steps as follows. 1, change manual process to mechanical, so the process is faster. 2, converting plastic waste into economic good, including paving and roof tiles, while organic waste into maggot feed and compost. The residue is put into a non-dioxins and non-furan pyrolysis combustion engine. The novelty value of this beer-out innovation reduced up to 30% of the mass of waste at the household level. The waste is divided into 2, organic and non-organic, where the management is managed by non-government organization or KSM. There are 9 KSM involved in their waste management in Banyumas Regency as follows. Kembar Jaya, Koper, PDU, manage fasilitas PDU. Megunani, Pabuaran, Region Pabuaran, manage fasilitas PDU. Randu Makmur, Kedung Randu, manage fasilitas TPST. Rian, Region Tanjung, manage fasilitas PDU. Sejahtera, Kamandaka, Ceria, Mandiri Makmur, SAE, manage fasilitas PDU. The bear-out program in Banyumas Regency has succeeded in processing waste, which is increasing from year to year. This is evident in 2018, the waste that was processed only reached 20%, 28 trucks per day from 143 trucks per day. In 2019, it increased to 40%. In 2020, it increased to 60%, and in 2022, it will increase to 19% of the waste being successfully processed, equivalent to 16.8 meter cubic of waste, 128 trucks of garbage per day. Segregate waste is divided into 4 groups: junk, sold to scrap metal dealers; plastic, sold as refuse derived fuel and hot mix asphalt mix; organic plastic, complete using a plastic extruder which produce material to manufacture of paving block, roof tiles, flower pots, and so on. Waste, organic slurry, maggot feed, ingredients for enlargement of maggot, and compost. The results of this innovation have resulted in zero waste and zero operational costs becoming a reality. But the most important results of their innovation is saving the environment from waste pollution, maintaining environmental quality and public health, maintaining the clean lines and beauty of the environment. And conclusion for this paper, the Banyumas government choose a circular economic-based waste management policy with Perot's innovation, rubbish turned into money. The circular economy methods was rightly chosen in overcoming the waste problem, which have become a disaster in Banyumas in 2018, which 143 garbage truck per day. The circular economic methods was chosen the produce systemic solution to tackle the global challenge of waste and waste pollution. This framework has principles that are all geared towards design to eliminate waste and pollution, rotating produce and materials of the highest value. Sustainable waste management towards zero waste through circular economy concept in Banyumas Regency.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ellie, for your fruitful presentation.
Thank you.
Now,
Sorry for not turning on
presenters
the
and
video.
audiences.
Yeah, because it was raining, the signal very weak. It didn't support the camera. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's completely fine, Mrs. Ellie. Okay, let me continue. Let's now continue with the third session and our last session for today with speakers Belingaryakti Nugrahini SAMCom PhD-CA, Sresta Purnamasari SAMSC, Apelina Teresia SAMAK, Stephanie Filska Dewi SAMSC, R. Setyawan Aji Nugroho STMCom PhD, Dr. Agnes Fansia Krismastuti SAMAK, CPA with the title Business Model for Social for Stripe Business Unit. Let me read the third presenter's CV. Ms. Linggar is a full-time lecturer in the Department of Accounting, Sutia Pranoto Catholic University. She is interested in conducting researches in the area of financial accounting and organizational studies. She is a reviewer in some reputable national and international journals. Since Ms. Linggar is already present, let us enjoy her YouTube presentation.
Robertus Nugroho, Agnes Asensia, Tresta Purnamasari, Apelina Teresia, Probo Nugrahedi, Stefani Dewi, and Christia Putranti. First, I will start with the introduction. Perhutanan sosial or social forestry is a governmental permit scheme which gives rights to the forest farmers to utilize forest. This is a new scheme which was issued by the President to increase the welfare of the farmers near the forest. KEMAPIS is one of the organizations which involved in the mitigation of agrarian conflict. It governs around 40,000 hectares of forest area and has more than 100,000 members of forest farmers. KEMAPIS has a unique role and status. This organization has close partnership with the presidential office and was aimed to enhance society welfare. However, there has been a problem of governing social forestry faced by KEMAPIS, in where they struggle to manage its operation. Moreover, it is worsened by the involvement of mediators, or we call it external, in their business cycle. Therefore, the need to build a business unit for social forest farmers is essential to provide better business cycle for farmers. It will also cut the role of mediator in their business cycle, hence they can get more profit and benefit in conducting their business. Based on this background, I would like to propose two problems in here. The first one is, what kind of business model for social forest farmers? Second one is, how can the business be developed and managed? This study gathered some previous studies and found that cooperative is the most suitable source and business model for the forest farmer. Cooperative is maximizing benefit for its members. It also responds to a problem in the market, usually due to an imbalance of power between the supplier of goods and the customer. Moreover, cooperative in agriculture is increasing the wealth of farmers and can increase sustainable business. In addition of forest cooperative, we will need integrated and sustainable business model, which is the perfect business model for the forestry. This study is a qualitative applied research, in where applied research tries to solve the real problem. The problem of how to develop business model for social forestry becomes an interesting topic to be addressed in this study. The sampling method applied in this study is the purposive sampling method, where the participants must have adequate understanding of social forestry operations and must have the knowledge on how to develop business model for social forestry. The study got 25 participants ranging from ministry officials, managers of directors of the company, the KEMAPIS committee, financial intermediary, and academic. Since this research is a qualitative approach, it searches for patterns and proposing themes which create findings. Based on the analysis, this study provides some findings. First, cooperative must be the heart of the business model. The form of the business can be anything, can be limited company or proprietary, but the soul of the business must be a cooperative. Second, the role of technology may help to govern the organization and reduce the distribution channel of social forestry commodities. Third, there has to be a mutual business model between KEMAPIS and business partners in developing business. In this business model figure, we can see that there are some stakeholders involved in the business model. They are the ministry, as the advisors, universities where the Sacipto university takes part for conducting training, system development, business analyst. And we also sought assistance from Gajah Mada University, where they will help in forest territorial development. Again, cooperative is the source of the business. So it will propose the solidarity, members will mutual relationship, and support this business model. And in here, we need the role of off-taker for taking their commodity and then sell it, or they will use it for their own use. They involve private entities or state-owned entities. We can also involve financial intermediaries such as banking companies for funding issues. Again, the legal form of the business could be anything, but the soul should be a cooperative. How the business can be run or conducted? We will talk about that in detail when we are having real business unit later. But in here, we propose that annual shareholder meeting can be replaced by annual members meeting, and the membership can be used as voting rights. Finally, the study concludes that first, forest farmers need to build business units to increase their economic capacity. Second, cooperative is the most visible form of the business. Third, business can be managed by the collaboration of social practice with universities, government, and companies. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Linggar, for your fruitful presentation. And now let us enter the Q&A session. May I remind you that the Q&A will last for around 10 minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you have any questions for the presenters? Are there any questions for the presenters? Okay, I will move to our reactors. For reactors, could you please give comments and questions for the presenters?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I can hear.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations to all presenters. It's a good presentation. For the first presenters, I would like to ask to Ms. Ellie Kunchorowati. Yeah. Okay. The first question is, what are the efforts of the facilitators in exploring the potential for meeting the basic need of ODGs during the COVID-19 pandemic? And the second question is, what is the suggestion for alleviate the obstacle faced by ODGs in meeting basic needs? I think it is two questions, Ibu Eli.
Thank you for the question. First, for the effort of the companion to ODGs, to company the ODGs in pandemic COVID-19. Of course, I cannot live about the like masquerading or sharing like that. But the most important.
Mrs. Ellie, could you hear us?
Yes. What? Don't you hear my voice?
Yeah.
No. I mean, the first effort of the companion of ODGJs in pandemic COVID-19, first home visit, because we know that the ODGJs cannot, they're very depend to the companion and of course the caregiver or parent or family to help them to remind them how to uh, take care of them, like to remind them to drink the medicine like that, or to take a bath, and then of course that's very dependent. Then the effort of the companion in home visit and help the families to help the ODGJs, and then give empowerment, how digging the feeling of the ODGJs, why become like that, maybe by like that can and then empowering them to be, as we know, they cannot communication like normal, so the companion is empower them to be able to like normal can communication minimally by the surrounding environment. And beside there, yeah, to take a bath, teach them how to take a bath, and the family are also remind them that the ODGJs has to routine to drink the medicine, because they, if no one to remind them to drink the medicine and the medicine treatment, they will forget to take a bath, to eat, to take breakfast, to take dinner or something like that, to take meal, that the family have to take care of them. And the poorest is the family of the ODGJs. Most of them is come from the very poor, very poverty. I mean, the poverty family. And the second, the second question is, I mean, what about?
The second question is, what is the suggestion to alleviate the obstacle?
Oh, the obstacle. Suggestion the obstacle of the ODGJs. Of course,
Yeah.
of course, like that. ODGJs is not a normal people. So the obstacle for the ODGJs, yeah, how to, there is very obstacle faced for ODGJs.
Yeah.
Communicate,
Faced by
communicate with ODGJs itself, but also it needs the family, of course. Number one is as a caregiver to help the ODGJs. So companion can live all the time with the ODGJs, so they only home visit maybe one a week, or twice or three times. And so who are live together all the time with the ODGJs is the family, number one. So the empowering of not only for the ODGJs, only to the family, to remind them to take care, and to remind, and don't forget to medicine treatment.
Okay. And how frequent the companion or home visit do?
How many times?
Yeah.
How many times? It's I think it's only once a week, or
Once
maybe
a week.
a
Okay.
week. Not the same, and only on the 2 weeks. One that is they also give them teach to the family, empower to the family, the most important, because they are live together, and the most important, and they will observation, because the rule may not settle for the ODGJs. That is, the rule may not settle for ODGJs. So ODGJs have to give, we have to take care of them, may not settle. There's no more ODGJs with settles, and the food with change fees in the like in the way of shackles, shackles in the foot, and they tied it with a chain like that.
Okay.
Yeah, the rule may not again, and who the family done that, it will be jail. The rule will be jail So that is the most important of ODGs companion is to observation too about that. No cycles anymore for ODGs.
Okay, okay, Bu Eli, that's a great job. We really appreciate. We really appreciate. Congratulations. Yeah, thank you, Bu Eli.
Thank you. Welcome.
And now I will ask. I would like to ask the second presenters. It is Ibu Eli Kristianti Purwenda, ya. Ibu
Christiani,
there?
yeah.
Ibu Kristiani, ya. Okay, the first question is there any waste management regulation by local government in Banyumas Regency, Ibu?
Iya,
Halo, Ibu
terima
Eli.
kasih Ibu.
Ya.
Please ask permission from the moderator and Ibu Wiwin, ya, Ibu Wiwin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I answer in Indonesian language. I was sorry that my English language would be messy, ya. Mohon maaf ya Bu, saya coba pakai bahasa Indonesia. Ada sebetulnya untuk regulasi, tetapi ada beberapa regulasi. Namun sebetulnya untuk yang inovasi beruang ini ada di dalam apa namanya ya, rencana kerja, rencana strategis dari Bupati Banyumas, ya. Ini dalam peraturan Bupati Banyumas. Yang menarik sebetulnya untuk Perda ini ada beberapa apa namanya ya, ada beberapa menimbang dan mengingat, yaitu dalam artian Undang-Undang Pengelolaan Sampah, kemudian Rancangan Tata Ruang Wilayah, di mana di dalam Rancangan Tata Ruang Wilayah yang di breakdown di Perda RT RW ini ada beberapa TPA yang ditutup, sehingga ekonomi sirkular ini sangat dibutuhkan untuk menyelesaikan permasalahan timbulan sampah di tempat pembuangan akhir seperti tadi disebutkan, karena di dalam kebijakan-kebijakan yang di sini disampaikan di dalam rencana kerja strategis oleh Bupati Banyumas untuk penanggulangan sampah, pengelolaan sampah berbasis ekonomi sirkular itu melalui tempat pembuangan sampah terpadu, hanggar dalam hal ini, dan PDU PDU apa tadi ya? Pusat daur ulang, mohon maaf, pusat daur ulang, di mana ini melibatkan kelompok swadaya masyarakat. Namun
Tapi
ada permasalahan.
Belum ada peraturan bupati atau perda gitu, belum ada ya Bu?
Ada perdanya, di sini peraturan daerahnya itu peraturan daerah Kabupaten Banyumas nomor 7 tahun 2009.
Oh, udah lama sekali.
Iya, kemudian ada lagi peraturan daerah nomor 10 tahun 2011 Tata Ruang Wilayah, kemudian peraturan Bupati nomor 32 tahun 2022, tapi ini tentang rencana kerja pemerintah daerah Kabupaten Banyumas. Ini. Iya. Nah, ya di sini yang sebetulnya menjadi dasar bagi kami di dalam kemarin melakukan riset kemarin, hanya permasalahannya ada satu, Ibu Wiwin, yaitu tentang ekonomi sirkular ini yang belum ya, maksudnya bukan tidak ya, belum didukung dana-dana CSR dengan maksimal, karena masih meninggalkan permasalahan yang ada dukungan dari hanggar, TPST, PDU, itu melalui dana-dana Kementerian PUPR hibah yang masih meninggalkan permasalahan, yaitu untuk support dari mesin daur ulang, sehingga sampah itu masih menjadi masalah karena tidak sampai kepada residu, timbulan sampah masih. Dan ini yang direncanakan di dalam peraturan Bupati tentang rencana kerja untuk pelibatan stakeholder terkait.
Okay, Ibu. You said that a waste management method using waste as a resources ya, by 9 community self-help group ya. How is the mechanism? how is the mechanism to cooperate with KSM?
Mekanismenya itu mendasarkan koordinasinya dari Dinas Lingkungan Hidup setempat, di mana Dinas Lingkungan Hidup setempat itu memberikan bantuan hibah PUPR berupa hanggar dan mesin-mesinnya. Namun untuk tanahnya ini ada dua macam. Yang satu itu tanah milik kabupaten, ada lagi tanah milik desa. Sebentar, saya akan tanya rekan saya. Apa namanya? Mohon maaf. Yang pertama itu tanah milik kabupaten. Pengelolaannya adalah kabupaten. Kemudian yang satu lagi adalah tanah milik desa, BUMDes.
Oh, BUMDes.
Nah, ini ada dua macam. Ya, ada dua macam.
BUMDes.
Ya, ada BUMDes. Kenapa? Managed by BUMDes dan managed by government region ya. Kemudian untuk BUMDes juga sama, dananya juga dana hibah PUPR untuk pembangunan hanggar dan mesin-mesin, bantuan dari hibah PUPR dan LSM. Mohon maaf, CSR ya, dana-dana CSR ini. Hanya ini belum memberikan support yang diharapkan. Ada satu hanggar yang bagus, yaitu hanggar yang berdasarkan BLE, berbasis lingkungan hidup dan ekonomi. Hanya ada satu di Kabupaten Banyumas yang baru-baru diresmikan oleh Ibu Puan Maharani. Ini betul-betul bisa mengatasi permasalahan sampah, Bu Wiwin, karena sampai kepada residunya. Ya, sampai kepada residu. Ya, jadi ada manajemen pengelolaannya itu diswastakan. Dari Dinas Lingkungan Hidup diberi pelatihan selama 2 bulan pendampingan. Kemudian setelah itu dilepas diswastakan di manajemen swasta perorangan untuk selanjutnya pendanaan operasional itu ditanggung dari hanggar-hanggar dan PDU tersebut. Di mana
so it's not
perorangan,
BUMDes.
ya. Untuk BUMDes itu dana desa ini juga didukung oleh keuangan desa dan operasionalnya itu betul-betul dari sampah yang didaur ulang.
Kalau untuk yang KSM-nya Bu, untuk
KSM-nya ini kelompok swadaya masyarakat ini ada beberapa sebetulnya. Ini juga sama swasta. Bahkan kemarin ada beberapa KSM, ada yang pengelolaan sampah tadi.
I'm
dalam
sorry,
artian,
Mrs. Ellie and the reactors, we are running out of time.
Ya.
Oke, sebentar ya. Pengelolaan untuk pengelolaan. Kemudian
Bu Ellie, it's enough.
Okay,
yeah. It's enough. Okay. I give a suggestion to you to add the objective of the research in the abstract. Okay, you missed that in the abstract. Would you please add the objective of the research in the abstract? Okay, thank you, Bu Ellie. And then for the third presenter, I would like to ask.
Terima kasih.
I would like to ask about to Ibu Linggar ya. How is the best model you suggest for the mutual business model between social forestry society movement and business partners in developing business unit, Ibu? And what is the predicted obstacle of this model to implement it? Yes, I think that's 2 questions, Ibu.
Okay, for the first, can you hear my voice?
Yeah.
Okay, for the first question, I think the best business model, as I've told in the presentation, is actually the involvement of the cooperative of their organization. Because in fact, they have their own cooperative, but in the meantime, it's not really effective. That's why, for example, the business model will involve like the shareholder of the business itself is the cooperative, while the member of the cooperative will be all the forest farmers. It's around 100,000 100,000 farmers in Java, Ibu. So
Okay.
for the obstacle, actually, yeah, there are some you know, like how they connect each other is actually quite tricky. Because they need to build trust from the practitioners, for example, from the duty, if we call it in Indonesian term. But so far, actually, the leader of the movement is quite well known. So first, they need to see each other first before they run their plan seriously. So for example, we've met before in one occasion, and then they try to get to know each other more serious, and they did observation to some forests which produce, for example, when the business needs wood, they will come to the area and then they will observe, and they will also like invest in there and involve the farmers in their business cycle. At the same time, they will train the farmers as well, and also give them, for example, the seeds for the plantation and others. So I think the observer itself is how to build the trust between the business and the movement. But as long as you can meet each other first and then talk about it, and then they do observation, then the trust can be built, I think.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Inggar. Ibu Linggar, yeah, thank you. It's great. So it needs a trust, in it synchronized between stakeholders.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Mrs.
Okay, good.
Vivian.
Thank you.
Our time
Okay.
is up for the
Yeah.
Q&A session.
Thank you for sharing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the end of the session. We thank all of you for participating actively. We hope new insights and new collaborations have been found as one of the results of today's session. We remind you, if you haven't shown your attendance, please fill in attendance in the bit.ly form provided in the chat room. Before I close our session today, the operator will show the certificate of appreciation for all the presenters. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for participating. We hope to see you again tomorrow in another interesting and intriguing plenary and parallel session. We sincerely hope you will continue to have a fruitful day. Thank you and good day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thank you. See you all tomorrow.
Leave the main room. Yeah.
Leave lah. Leave meeting.